All right, so you guys sent in some wild stuff about this whole Burna Boy and Speed Darlington thing that went down in Lagos.
Yeah.
And, it's not your typical everyday celebrity gossip.
No, no.
This is something that I think gives us a chance to, really take a deep dive into the Nigerian music scene,
Absolutely.
where things get loud and personalities clash, and even a run-in with the police can kind of turn into, a whole statement.
Yeah. I think what's fascinating here is that it really reveals how different artists navigate fame.
Yeah.
You've got Burna Boy, Grammy winner, global icon, known for his cool demeanor, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you've got Speed Darlington, a controversial figure
Right.
who thrives on grabbing attention and often calls himself the king of Africa.
Okay, so paint me a picture here.
Yeah.
Lagos streets, things are heating up,
Yeah.
and Speed Darlington is in the thick of it.
Right in the thick of it.
Our source, the Afrobeat Chronicles podcast, paints a scene with Speed Darlington practically putting on a show
Yeah.
right in front of the police who are trying to get things under control. Actor,
Mm.
he's yelling, "Speed Darlington, the king of Africa!"
Yeah, he's leaning into the chaos. It's
Almost like he's leaning into the chaos.
Absolutely. And you know what makes this even more interesting?
What?
Burna Boy,
Burna Boy, what?
out of nowhere, enters the scene.
Oh, really?
Not to join the drama,
Okay.
but to actually de-escalate the whole thing.
Wow.
He talks to the police, calms Speed Darlington down, and basically acts as a peacemaker.
So it's a total contrast in styles?
Total contrast.
You've got Burna Boy, the cool and collected guy, focused on resolving things, and you have Speed Darlington almost embracing the attention.
Yeah.
It really does make you wonder, was this whole thing staged? Was this a publicity stunt?
Right?
The Afrobeat Chronicles even debated this,
Yeah.
And it's hard to ignore the fact that Speed Darlington's always been a master of grabbing headlines.
Right, but you know what makes me lean towards it being genuine is Burna Boy's reaction.
Oh, really? Okay.
He seemed genuinely surprised by it all. Like he was just trying to diffuse the situation and protect another artist.
Interesting.
Regardless of their style.
Okay.
If it was a stunt,
Yeah.
Burna Boy wasn't in on it.
Okay, but couldn't this be Burna Boy playing the good guy for the cameras?
That's a valid point.
I mean, everyone wins in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
Good publicity all around.
Right.
How can we be sure of anyone's motives here?
That's true. You can't be totally sure, but think about it this way.
Okay.
There have been plenty of incidents where Afrobeat artists have received negative press for clashing with police. It almost fuels a stereotype.
Yeah.
Burna Boy stepping in like this, especially with someone like Speed Darlington,
Yeah.
protects not just Speed, but the image of Afrobeat as a whole.
So you're saying it was actually good PR for the entire genre.
Exactly.
That's a fascinating angle.
Yeah.
Almost like he's subtly shifting the narrative away from unruly artists and towards something more positive.
That's a great point.
So,
And this brings us to a bigger question. What does success look like in the Nigerian music scene?
yeah.
Burna Boy, he's got the awards, the global recognition. Speed Darlington, he's got the attention, even if it comes with controversy.
Okay.
Are those two paths to success?
So are we saying that there's more than one way to make it in Afrobeat?
I think so.
That's a conversation I definitely want to have.
Yeah.
But first, I'm curious.
Okay.
Did the Afrobeat Chronicles mention how the police were reacting to all this?
Oh, they definitely picked up on that.
Okay.
And this is where it gets even deeper.
Okay.
Because Burna Boy's approach to de-escalating the situation wasn't just him being cool. It actually reflects some deep-rooted cultural values in Nigeria.
Oh, well.
There's this emphasis on respect, on appealing to shared understanding and community ties.
Right.
Especially when dealing with authority figures.
So hold on. Are you saying that Burna Boy's negotiation tactics weren't just about calming things down?
Right.
But actually tapped into something very specific about Nigerian culture?
Absolutely. The Afrobeat Chronicles pointed out how he used specific phrases and gestures that resonated with the officers on a cultural level.
Wow.
It's like he was speaking their language, not just literally, but culturally.
That's incredible. It's like a whole other layer to this whole thing.
Yeah.
So we've got these contrasting personalities. We've got public image. We've got a possible publicity stunt. But we also have cultural dynamics and this whole idea of multiple paths to success.
Yeah.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, let's unpack those different paths to success a bit more.
Okay.
Think about how Burna Boy and Speed Darlington compare to other artists who've taken similar routes.
Okay.
Think about someone like Fela Kuti, a legend in Afrobeat.
Right.
He was known for his outspoken political views
Yeah.
and his music that challenged authority.
Right.
In a way, Speed Darlington kind of taps into that same energy, that willingness to provoke and push boundaries.
So you're saying that even controversy can be a path to success.
It definitely can.
But how does that work in the long run? Doesn't it alienate some people?
It definitely can. But it also creates a really dedicated fan base.
Yeah.
People who connect with that raw authenticity
Right.
and see it as a form of rebellion.
I see.
Think about someone like Naira Marley.
Yeah.
He's built a huge following by embracing controversy and challenging societal norms through his music.
Okay, so we've got the Fela Kuti and the Naira Marley approach controversy as a brand.
Right.
Then there's the Burna Boy route, global recognition, critical acclaim awards. But are those the only options?
Not at all. There's a whole spectrum in between.
Okay.
Look at someone like Wizkid.
Okay.
He's got international success, but he's also maintained a strong connection to his Nigerian roots.
Interesting.
He's kind of bridging the gap between those two worlds.
It's like he's found a way to appeal to both a global audience and his core fan base back home.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive balancing act.
It is.
Where does someone like Speed Darlington fit into all of this? He's got this King of Africa persona.
Yeah.
But can that translate into lasting success?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's carved out a niche for himself.
Right.
But can he sustain it? Can he evolve beyond the shock value?
Right.
And really connect with people on a deeper level? Only time will tell.
It's almost like he's walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
One wrong step, and it could all come crashing down.
Exactly.
But that unpredictability is part of what makes him so fascinating to watch.
Absolutely. And it brings us back to this whole incident with Burna Boy.
Okay.
It's a microcosm of the larger dynamics at play in the Afrobeat scene.
Yeah.
You've got these different personalities, different approaches to success, and this constant tension between staying true to your roots and reaching for global recognition.
And let's not forget the media's role in all of this.
Oh, absolutely.
This whole incident blew up online.
Huge talking point.
People were analyzing it, debating it, sharing their opinions.
Like the media is constantly shaping the narrative, amplifying certain events and influencing how we perceive these artists.
Right.
And in this case, Burna Boy's actions, they almost subverted that typical narrative.
Interesting.
Instead of feeding into the stereotype of the troubled artist, he presented a different image, one of responsibility and community.
It makes you wonder if he was even aware of that impact.
Yeah.
Or if he was just acting instinctively in the moment.
Right.
Either way, it's a powerful statement.
It is.
It's like he's saying, we're more than just the headlines.
Yeah.
We're complex individuals with our own stories to tell.
And that's what makes this whole deep dive so compelling.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about a single incident. We're exploring the personalities, the motivations, the cultural context, the power dynamics, the media's influence.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Exactly.
Revealing more and more with each discovery.
Yeah.
And in the end, what are we left with?
Yeah.
What's the takeaway for our listener who's been following this whole story with us?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. There's no single path to success.
Okay.
Especially in a dynamic and evolving genre like Afrobeat. It's about finding your own voice, navigating the pressures of fame.
Right.
And staying true to yourself even when the cameras are flashing and the world is watching.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure story.
It is.
You've got Burna Boy, the diplomat, the peacemaker, the global icon. You've got Speed Darlington, the provocateur, the attention grabber, the king of Africa.
Right.
And then you've got countless others in between, carving out their own unique paths.
And that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
It's a genre that's constantly pushing boundaries, challenging expectations, and defying easy categorization.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of the vibrant and diverse culture from which it emerged.
It's interesting, too, because, this whole thing didn't just happen like behind closed doors or, in some private studio.
Right.
It spilled out onto the streets of Lagos.
Right, in public.
It became this whole public spectacle with everyday people witnessing it all.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just some celebrity spat.
Yeah.
It was real life playing out in front of everyone.
And that's what makes it so relatable. I think it's a reminder that these artists, these larger-than-life figures, they're still human. Yeah. They're navigating the same pressures, the same social dynamics, the same complexities that we all face.
It's like this incident, it cracked open this window into not just the world of Afrobeat, but into Nigerian society itself.
Yeah.
You see the role of the police, The power dynamics between individuals, the importance of community ties.
Yeah.
It's all there right on the surface.
And don't forget the cultural nuances at play.
Right.
Burna Boy's approach to de-escalating the situation, his emphasis on respect and understanding.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about the importance of those values in Nigerian culture.
It's like he instinctively knew how to navigate that situation.
Yeah.
Not just as a celebrity, but as someone who understands the cultural code.
Yep.
And that's something you don't get from just listening to the music.
Yeah.
You know? It's about understanding the context, the deeper layers.
Exactly. And that's what these deep dives are all about, right? We're not just scratching the surface. We're peeling back those layers, connecting the dots, and hopefully expanding our own understanding of the world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this Lagos incident, I'm left with this lingering question for you, our listener.
Okay.
If you were in Burna Boy's shoes that day, standing there on the streets of Lagos, how would you have handled it?
Ah, that's a good question.
Would you have stepped in, tried to calm things down?
Right.
Or would you have stayed out of it?
Yeah.
It's a tough question, right?
It is.
It makes you think about responsibility, about using your influence, about navigating those unexpected moments when the world is watching.
It's a question we should all ask ourselves, regardless of whether we're famous musicians or just everyday people.
Yeah.
It's about considering how our actions impact others, how we use our voice, and how we choose to navigate the complexities of the world around us.
Well said, and I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
We've explored the incident, the personalities, the cultural context, and even challenged ourselves to think about how we would react in that situation.
Absolutely.
So remember, this deep dive is just a starting point.
Right.
We encourage you to explore further, listen to the music, learn about the artists, and discover the richness and complexity of Afrobeat for yourself.
A fascinating world.
Until next time, keep diving deep.